Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Thursday night!
I, of course, am your host, Charlie, and I'm joined once again by the prolific owner himself, Zealeus.
Hello, Charlie!
Hello, Zealeus.
How goes it on this theatrical Thursday?
We have internet.
And power!
Power of the internet.
When the power and the internet combine, we are Ultra Confusion.
Able to stream our Thursday Night Hangout.
To you to talk about indie games and other great geeky things.
Indeed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. First of all, before we do the do section, I do want to point out this amazing t-shirt that says Team Hawk. It is in support of the leukemia and life. Oh, my God.
Lymphoma. No, I can't say, damn it.
Leukemia and Lymphoma Society.
Lymphomia.
Lymphoma, dude.
Damn it,
Lymphoma.
you're screwing with myself.
All right. Anyways, my sister survived, is in remission for stage 3. I believe it was stage 3. Lymphoma. Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and this is a shirt for fundraising, and of course there's going to be a Light the Night event in October that I'll be walking
Whoop, whoop.
in this shirt. All right.
Yeah.
All right, now let's get back to our regularly scheduled program, and that, of course, is our cue to do the do. Well, okay, me do the do. Zealeus just sits there. Good sir, with the amount of beer that you ingest, perhaps you should reach out to a beer manufacturer and see if they want to sponsor the show.
Do we want to promote drinking among our perhaps impressionable youth out there who may be watching our show?
You do it every week.
Well, that's my own stupid decision. It doesn't mean you have to encourage other people to make dumb decisions, too.
Yes, but you're making it known that you are partaking in alcoholic beverages every week.
For all you know, I could be drinking root beer right now.
Yes, but you said it was an alcoholic beverage.
Did I?
Yes, you did. Hins!
Did I?
Yes, you did.
Are you sure?
Cheers, ladies and gentlemen.
Cheers.
Bottoms up.
So I'm a little grossed out because it looked like there was leftover orange juice in that cup, so I'm kind of disturbed.
A little extra citrus twist.
That's kind of grody.
All right, let's do this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the first game of the evening is a game called The Curious Expedition. The Curious Expedition takes place in the late 19th century. You, my friend, are going to be leading an expedition into uncharted territory.
Well, it'd be pretty lame if you're leading an expedition into charted.
So here's the deal. It is a procedurally generated game. It's a roguelike, oh my gosh, expedition simulator. So let's show you. Okay, first of all, it is an indie game. It's going to be, it's going to play on your nostalgia from like the 80s. So don't scream about the graphics because that's not what they're trying to accomplish, okay? So here you go, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Curious Expedition.
I'm curious.
If I can remember to turn on the right window. There you go.
Yay! Windows for the win.
I used to be an explorer.
Good story.
Traveled to distant places, uncharted lands, unexplored regions, for fame and glory.
Yeah.
My ship carried me further, encountering unknown tribes and savage beasts. My guide tried to warn me. I stole artifacts from
It
ancient
sort of has that
temples
Oregon Trail feel.
and took them across
You
the
gotta make
sea,
it far enough until you die dysentery.
setting forth
I think this one would be
again
malaria.
and again and again. But we went too far. A place the natives only whispered about.
Mysterious Temple.
We found it. We paid a terrible price. Took an oath to never speak of it. Too far. The horror. The horror.
So I know sometimes when we see these indie game trailers, we
Yep.
like to shit on their graphics. And here's the thing:
Yes.
with graphics. So this
Yes.
game, obviously, it's not crazy realistic graphics.
Correct.
But the thing is, from what I saw in the gameplay footage,
Mhm.
with their style graphics, it was still nicely done, artistic. And I
Right.
think sometimes when we watch these trailers and it's an indie game, it's like, what's up with these graphics? It's not because it's 8 or 16-bit graphics. It's how do you utilize that palette?
Absolutely.
And I think this game, from what I saw of the trailer,
Mhm.
they do a very nice job with that limited palette to make it look nice.
Right.
And I think that's why I see these graphics, and they don't bother me. It's not like, oh, I'm not going to play the game because of the graphics, because they fit in with what they're going for.
Right, and I think also you kind of get the vibe of the game, and the graphics kind of just fit. Like I said, it's a procedurally generated expedition simulator, which is I don't even it's that alone is kind of like what?
Well, I can see the faster than light comparison because
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You have expedition. You probably level up with your weapons. You can
Yeah.
do better stuff.
Better. You got to keep track of your resources. You get better equipment, better staff. So yeah, the FTL for the 19th century.
So it's like Oregon Trail. The meets FTL. Really.
Yeah, basically. So this game has been in early access for a year now, and it's going to be officially released September 2nd.
Okay.
So it's been battered and bruised and improved on for a year. And this, my friends, is early access done right. Okay? If you just put something in early access and you're like, well, we'll get there when we get there, sure, that's fine. But at the same token, if you are going to go the early access route, which, it basically says we've run out of money, we want you to pay us to beta test our game. I have a little bit of a problem with that just on principle, but if you definitely have it's Joss, dude. There's not Josh. It's JOSS. Man, oh man. Nerd credit gone. Give me your card.
That's kind of the whole point. I don't actually know Joss Whedon. It's like a pale imitation.
Oh, I see.
Like
It's like the third cousin removed.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
There
It's
you
as
go.
close as I can get to knowing somebody famous.
Touche.
Except for you, of course.
Of course. But anyways, so like I said, this is early access done right, and I'm excited to see what this game can actually bring to the table, and hopefully we can get a review code of it. Actually, you know what? I did put in a request for a review code, so we'll probably their caveat was that we'd have to put a
Positive review.
no, we have to do a let's play of at least one attempt at an
And
expedition.
we all know Ultra Confusion is morally opposed to the idea of Let's Plays.
No, I've got no problem with Let's
I'm
Plays.
being
It's just,
smartass.
but the problem is, I have a little bit of an issue when it comes to a procedurally generated game, because my experience, let's say that I just for some reason the system rolls like the shittiest stuff in the world for me. I'm gonna have a terrible time,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna showcase that. That's my one issue with procedurally generated stuff. Now, however, if it's done right, and there's a little bit of difficulty to it, but it's got that smooth, I'm getting sucked into the world type of vibe, then I'm fine.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah. So be on the lookout for this game. September 2nd is the release date. It's coming out on Steam, GOG, and Humble.
So a little bit of everything.
Indeed, sir. Indeed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the next topic. And the next topic is...
Ah.
Let's talk about the Alta Confusion Patreon thing real quick, since we have you,
We have a
ladies and gentlemen.
Patreon?
Yes. Alta Confusion does indeed have a Patreon page.
Apparently Aaron Yeager is on it. Yeager.
So, basically, Patreon...
Look at that beautiful man in the video.
I know. Patreon is basically a way that you, the viewers, the fans, the audience, can help fund some of the Alta Confusion cost for conventions, better equipment, upkeep, websites, and maybe if we get enough, maybe we can get people to perhaps overhaul the website, maybe give us some artwork or something, kind of spruce it up. Maybe get more like merchandise and stuff that we can give out, like T-shirts and buttons and lanyards and all that stuff. So,
Well, what or maybe the audience has thought, what if we actually had like an Ultra Confusion storefront where, people could actually buy a shirt for, so it wouldn't actually cost us anything because we don't have the money for it, but basically they pay for the cost of it.
Okay. Well, that's a very good question.
That's probably a topic for another discussion.
And actually, I'm going to bring up that I am going to not for the cats.
I said it this time.
Okay.
I said it this time.
I'll actually we're gonna try we're doing a dry run of something like an Ultra Confusion-esque storefront. I just threw like a test out there. We'll see how that goes and try to figure out how everything works, and then we'll move on from there. Okay, so Patreon, if you would basically, if you have like 50 cents, $1 that you would be willing to basically pledge every single month to us. If you want to just do a lump sum pledge, you need to go to the donate button on Twitch, or you can go to the donate button on www.alterconfusion.com. It's a PayPal donation button. I know that there are some people in the audience who prefer to do the PayPal one-time thing. I wish that Patreon could do a little bit of both, but unfortunately, it's a monthly thing. So.
So speaking of Patreon,
yes, sir.
Part of the money goes towards conventions. What is the next convention that Ultra Confusion is going to?
The next convention that Ultra Confusion is going to. So technically, I am going to Siege, which is the Southeastern Interactive Game Expo. It is being held by the Georgia Game Developer Association. However, I'm not going to be there the whole time because I've got a lot of conflicts, but I will be there in a media capacity, hopefully interviewing some of the bigwigs there.
And when is that again?
That is, I think, the first or second week in October.
Very nice.
Yes. So I'll be there, but then after that, Ultra Confusion, I'm not exactly sure who's coming with me, but Ultra Confusion is going to Big Fandom Greenville, up in Greenville in November, where we will be giving our 2 panels. We'll have a fan table, and we've already got press badges, because one of the people they're trying to put on Big Fandom Greenville is a huge fan of Ultra Confusion, specifically the Convention That Shall Not Be Named's review of it, and how impressed they were that we were being so constructive critics and not just trying to bomb it. So, okay, so let's move on to the next thing. So if you can navigate over to Patreon page, that would be amazing. Any little donation would help a long way.
Amen to that.
All right. So the next thing, whoops. Oh, I accidentally clicked off Patreon, apparently.
No more Patreon for you.
All right. So let's move into the next one. Oh, there it is. Wow, that was weird. It took a while to feed back. All right. The next one is another game. This game is called Puzzle Monster Quest.
I feel like I've heard this title before.
Yes, actually. So they did a soft launch a while ago, and now it is officially out on your iOS and Android devices. It is free, but of course will include in-app purchases, which of course is microtransactions.
Premium!
But, they like to spice it up a little by giving it a fancy name. So anyways,
because that's not generic.
Puzzle Monster Quest is basically, let's see here. There's a game that I cannot think of off the top of my head that I've played on my Android tablet that kind of feels like this. However, so basically what you're doing is you got yellow, green, blue, and red. Yes, it is a puzzle quest game, or it's a game in which you're questing and it has puzzles and monsters.
And it has characters apparently based off of Attack on Titan.
Okay, yes, for a limited time only, there's going to be there's the characters from Attack on Titan are available. I'm pretty sure you got to buy them, but they will be in the game. So basically, what you're trying to do is it's one of those games where you kind of like draw the line to all the adjacent colors that match, and of course you've got monsters and heroes in your party that when you make enough you get a special ability. If you draw if your party's made up of yellow guys or lightning guys, and you go near an enemy, all of them will follow and hit the enemy as you walk by it. So anyways, without trying to describe anymore, we're just going to show you the trailer real quick so that you can get an idea of what it is, and then we'll come back and chit chat about it a little bit more. So here you go, ladies and gentlemen, Puzzle Monster Quest, which of course I need to switch back over. Hello. Flow. Ooh, I like Flow. Here we go. Yeah, ultra rare. Ultra rare. Holy hell. Yay!
interesting mashup of genres.
So I'm going to be totally honest with you. I've actually played a lot of this game today, and this actually, there's a piece of this game that I'm going to save for a discussion. Nakedness. Why were they naked in the beginning?
I know. Usually, the higher armor you get, the more naked you get in these games.
That's
Come
only for
on.
chicks. It's only for chicks.
Well, there is a chick in this game.
Touche. Anyways, it's an interesting game. It of course works off of the energy method. So when you as you play, it takes so much energy to go through so many levels, and then of course certain levels require more energy than others. Blah 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 blah. So it is a puzzle game. Yes. That is a.
Well, the Titans are naked in the actual anime all the time.
Attack of Titans. All the Titans are actually naked.
Well, yeah, because they don't even have like skin. They're
They're
just
naked.
flesh and bone.
No, some of them have skin. Then there's like the Super Titan. That. Okay. Anyways, we're spoilers.
It's Attack on Titan.
All right. Anyways, so Puzzle Monster Quest is available on your iOS and Android devices today.
Still need to finish the anime.
Ditto. All right. So. We did a story about something called Space Cats in Space.
Feed the cats.
Which, of course, was this elite squadron of cats are trying to take back their kingdom.
It's his alter ego with the shades on. It's not really Charlie. It's a Charlie 2.8.
Yes. So Space Cats in Space. It's basically It's like a mix-up of 80s cartoonish humor and music meets like a top-down shooter type of deal, and you've got a squadron
of cats
of cat fighters called the Cougar Squad or Cougar Squadron or something like that. Anyways, and of course all the dogs speak like with German accents, which is kind of humorous. So there's a slight update. They had a Kickstarter. They've now canceled the Kickstarter. But they will continue to do the Steam Greenlight. So the game is not dead completely.
Why'd they cancel the Kickstarter?
So basically, it got stuck at a specific value for like a week and did not move.
So the Kickstarter was not successful.
Well, they feared that it was not going to be successful. But yeah, so they've canceled that, but they are going to continue the Steam Greenlight approach. So the game will still have a chance of becoming available. If you want to find out more information, go to our website, go to the Space Cats page, and we have a link to the Greenlight site. So you can take a look and upvote it if you so desire.
Cats in space. What is there not to upvote?
Of course, before all this news broke, Alter Confusion was trying to gear up an interview with the developers. Now the Kickstarter has been canceled. But the green light is still on. Alter Confusion will be interviewing these developers since the game is still in process. But to be honest with you, I think that even if it was completely canceled, we still interview them because it is always a good it's always a good idea to interview those who succeed and fail. Sorry, but people do fail, so that individuals know that there's no like magic theory or formula to do this. Sometimes it's just blind luck. And one of the way that I've been doing interviews as of late is that I want to know one of the biggest hurdles that the developers had to overcome, so that if you are an indie developer or someone who's interested in creating a project for yourself and maybe selling it on the market, you can see that even people who are being successful in some degree do have trouble that they have to get over.
I'm guessing money's a big hurdle to overcome.
Well, of course, but sometimes it's certain games, when it gets close, they have to sign on to a publisher, and then it basically wrecks the game because the publisher then takes the creative reins away.
Change all of the game that you just made.
I'm sorry, did you do a dark fantasy? Well, we need you to change out all the assets so it's like princess puppy dogs.
I thought they were going to change it to a Madden simulator.
That too.
That'd be awesome.
That too.
That's what they need. They need a Madden simulator to go with Madden 2017. They need like be side by side, and you can have the Madden simulator on your cell phone, so you can be playing Madden football all the time, everywhere.
Oh dear God. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the next topic. The next topic, of course, is
Black Forest Games, Call
of Duty. All right, so Let's see. Mutiny Teddy says you can't be a loser if you never
win.
If you never win, you're just normal. Touche.
Wow, that's kind of very Confucius says.
Well, I mean, what's your definition of win? I mean, the definition of winning for a lot of people is different, except for like cut and dry sports.
You do better than somebody else at something, you win.
Okay, well then, the vast majority of the world has won at something.
Yes, which means they've also lost.
True, but you have the taste of victory if you want to know.
But those wins are so bittersweet because you're going to lose again anyways.
Are you though?
Well, technically yes, because there's always half winners, half losers, so there's always a 50-50 chance you're going to win or lose.
Usain Bolt.
Well, there are anomalies, yes.
Michael Phelps.
Okay.
Katie
Thank
Ledecky.
you for pointing out like 4 people in the world who nobody else can beat.
You're welcome. Okay, so anyways, Black Forest Games is an independent studio out of, oh my gosh, just blank. I believe Germany. Is that right? Shit. Now I'm blanking here. I'm sorry. Black Forest Games is I don't have it down there. Anyways, they are an independent studio, and they have decided to throw their weight into the ring and sponsor a Call of Duty team. And this Call of Duty team is actually headed to the World Championship, which is happening in the beginning of September. If you are a Call of Duty esports fan, you might recognize the name of, let me make sure that I've got that name right.
It's Offenburg, Germany.
Yeah, thank you. So it is
I probably
Germany.
did not say that right.
So the Call of Duty team used to be called the Revoltables, and now is called Black Forest Games. So it's going to be BFG.
I kind of like the logo, I'm going to be honest.
Yes. Oh, let's see. Let me see if I can show it. So here is their official jersey for the Call of Duty match. They have 3 UK players and 1 German player. Apparently, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not huge into the shooter esports stuff, so I'm not exactly sure what how good these guys are, but they did make it to the World Championship, so they must have done something right.
I'm pretty sure I've never actually played Call of Duty.
I have, but never competitively.
The only FPSs I ever really played were Team Fortress 2. That took the place of, Call of Duty or Halo or Counter-Strike or any of those. It was all about TF2.
Right on.
You played some Halo.
Yeah, I played Halo. I played Gears of War.
And of course, GoldenEye.
No, I know that it's not. I know it's not indie, but it's still the sponsor is an indie developer.
Yeah,
that's why it's significant. Out there. Black Forest Games definitely has. I mean, that's big. I mean, it's huge for an indie studio to solely back an esports team. That ain't cheap. I don't care where you are in the world. That ain't cheap. All right. On to the next one. Okay, and Zealeus was talking about a potential storefront for Alter Confusion. Now, we are doing a dry run of something, or I should say I'm doing a dry run of something real quick. I came upon this site called TeeSpring, and TeeSprings is basically a website where you can create a T-shirt, and you set up a campaign for X amount of days, and then then you also set the number of what you think you're gonna get, and then the price that you want for the T-shirt. And then but when you create the shirt, you have the option of adding on additional things. So if you could have a shirt, then a hoodie, or a sticker, or something like that. So let me show you the Alter Confusion first TeeSpring exclusive, which is, it doesn't have Alter Confusion on it. It's just a test run. If you'd like to get the shirt, I highly recommend that you check it out, because yours truly created it. But here you go, ladies and gentlemen. A little love for this is a flame-free zone. And I personally love the fact that I was able to put whatever subject I wanted. Don't be a dick, be flame-free. There's too much hate in the digital world, with people using the mask of anonymity to try to be a dick. Let's start a revolution where we actually consider, think, discuss, and give constructive feedback to one another. I know, crazy and will never work, but hey, you never know.
Well, I feel like you flame me every time you talk to me, so I think you should take a dose of your own medicine, sir.
I don't flame you. I'm giving you constructive criticism.
I feel the flames coming out of your nostrils like you're the horse that Ghost Rider rides. That's how I feel.
The original Ghost Rider? Because
all of the Ghost Riders combined into one great being known as Nicolas Cage.
Oh, dear God.
Yes, I went there.
So you've got the shirt, you got a hoodie, and you also got a sticker. And some of the proceeds does go to Alter Confusion. Of course, this is just another way that we will be putting money into Alter Confusion, so that.
But I'm guessing if you purchase through here, like we're not actually doing. It's not like we have to package it up or anything. It's not sent to the person.
Yeah,
right?
no. Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking some Kickstarters, that Kickstarter has to do all the packaging and all that crap. No, this is hands off, basically.
Mutiny Teddy. Zeal, your whole role on AC is to take the flame.
I feel flame broiled. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, so we're gonna do. If you want to, you can go over there and grab that T-shirt. I think I've got the link on a couple of our different social media sites. I don't think we actually have it on Alter Confusion, which is sad.
So Charlie posted this on Facebook earlier this week, and when he posted it, I originally thought it was like, I use quotes here, a real T-shirt from a real company when I saw it. Like, it looks like professional to me. Like, I really had no idea when I first saw it that Charlie made this. I was like, oh, what company is this from? So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, of course, the one caveat about Teespring is that it is there is a set time limit. So as you can see in the thing, there's 3 days left before this T-shirt disappears off the face of the earth. And then, of course, Alter Confusion will be attempting to create, or I will attempt to create an actual Alter Confusion T-shirt next time around, I think. Or maybe I'll mess around with some of the, oh my gosh, what's the word? The stock art.
Now, can you do the same shirt again once this expires?
Absolutely, yeah.
So you just keep on doing the same shirt over and over?
Yeah, I'm sure you could duplicate the campaign, but I would assume that you would have to. I don't know if you'd be able to do it back to back to back to back to back. I think that you would probably have to have. I'm pretty sure they'd probably lock it for a bit.
Interesting.
Yes, so you could have a second run or whatever.
Cool.
So, anyways, if you're interested, go over to Teesprings, and I believe you just search "Don't Be a Dick, Be Flame Free." I think you can find it. Yeah. All right, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm messing around with Teespring. I'm just giving you, the audience and fans, another way of trying to support Alter Confusion. I know that the donations and some of the pledges on Patreon doesn't really give you anything back. So by creating a T-shirt, hopefully that will give some people some incentives to help us out.
You actually get something out of it. I like it.
That too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the next topic.
There's more topics?
Of course there is. All right. Okay, this one is actually an upcoming movie. It's a trailer that I want to watch, and I want everyone's opinion on this because I feel like this is a bunch of horror movies jammed together, and they're trying to pass it off as something crazy and just updated about this series. And that, of course, is Rings, which is the latest iteration of the Ring series. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's watch the Ring trailer called Rings. You get it? Rings. Got it?
Yep.
Good. All right. Earphones in? Let's play.
You're not real! You're not real.
Come on, we gotta get up.
I keep thinking about this story. There's this video that kills you 7 days after you watch it. The second it's over, the phone rings.
Rings, but this time it's on
and
the
this
internet
boy
instead
says,
of on a VHS.
That's when she's coming for me.
You want to know about the girl in the well.
What does she want from me?
This mark on your hand. It says rebirth.
Appetizer.
What do you offer me? Mom?
She's here.
You've opened up a door, and now no one is safe.
I'm going to be totally honest with you. I'm interested. However, is it really? Damn it. Okay, well, it is an intensive video, so that might be it. But I will tell you this. I feel like this is, of course, The Ring redone, because that's what it is. Plus, there's a little bit of Final Destination in there. Plus, there's a little bit of a movie called Fear.com. And I don't know if a lot of people know that of Fear.com, and maybe that's the problem. Fear.com is basically you accidentally go to this website.
I think that's the movie.
And you have 48 hours to try to solve the mystery. Otherwise, you die by your worst fear.
I'm honestly not really into horror movies. I grew out of horror movies around the time when Scream came out, which was a long time ago, grant you. But I don't know. Horror movies aren't my genre. That's just me.
But I'm still up for horror movies. However, it takes a lot to actually scare me. So I think it was just when we were showing the video.
Okay.
I mean, it's very rare for me to get spooked by a film. I am interested in the new Blair Witch Project.
Is this one real too?
If it's more like the original, I'm all in. Because that scared the shite out of me. Because that was about the same time I was still a pretty good cross country runner, and I had to run on heavily wooded trails. And there were a couple trails that looked exactly like they came out of the movie Blair Witch, and I had my best time being how fast I was running through there.
Try to run from the crazy person who's behind you.
Just in case there was a crazy person just on the other side.
See, that's what a real good coach would do. Like, you drive after you, in a little golf cart and have, a knife or bat and, run faster or I'll hit you. It'd be a very good training mechanism.
I don't know if that's legal.
Well, if nobody sees it, it doesn't really happen. You know? When you're in the woods, does it really happen if nobody hears you?
But you could cuddle with your cat if you get scared.
This is true. Actually, here's the problem with my cat. If something spooky happens and scares the shit out of my cat,
you're dead.
Yes. Somebody knocked on my door and she jumped off and I still have scar marks from it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the next one. And that, of course, is the update of Pokemon Go. And that is everyone is screaming in the streets. When Pokemon Go started, there were 42 million users.
42 million!
And now, ladies and gentlemen, shockingly enough, we're down to 30 million.
Only 30 million!
So the game has failed. Everyone is moving on to... Oh, wait. There's still 30 million people playing it.
No. Are we not abandoning ship?
No. You know what? This... I'm sorry, everyone can freak out, but this is every single fucking MMO known to man. Launch day, everybody and their mother has to play. And then after a couple of weeks, they're like, "Oh, this is the type of game I like, or not." Zealeus is a great reference for this because he's willing to try a couple of MMOs ever so often to see if there's something new, something different, but then he usually drops it after a while.
With the exception here and there, something claws at my heart, I'll play it. But for the most part, I'll play them for a couple weeks. But there's been 3 that I've played hardcore.
Wow.
But, like Pokemon Go is one of them that I dropped out of after like a week because I got bored of it.
Yeah, but WoW is one that you've you've had an on again, off again relationship with.
WoW, Rift, and Final Fantasy 14 are my love children.
There you go.
Yes, indeed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
know.
know.
Do you still play?
What, Pokemon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not as much. I mean, I'm not like as focused as I was. But I still play. I mean, because I work at a fucking university.
Yeah.
So there's Pokestops and Pokemon galore everywhere.
The kids
so
at school. Ooh, man.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, whenever we have, like, class or especially after school practice, all the kids are on their cell phones trying to do that because you can catch the Pokemon because everybody's putting down their lures. We have 3 Pokestops right there to get your damn Pokeball, so they're all on their cell phones, except for the one kid with the BlackBerry.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, sorry, it sucks to be you.
Sad.
Yeah, I know.
Day.
So you just steal somebody else's phone to play.
All right, so Pokemon Go, they're fine.
I'm curious, though, what are they going to do to Pokemon Go to retain those 30 million users? Are they just going to let it stay at status quo, rest in their laurels, or are they actually going to try to improve the gameplay experience of what you can do in the game?
I think they're going to have to do some kind of like limited edition or limited time special events to get the rarer Pokemons, or perhaps special gems that pop up that you can gain like super items out of. I'm sure that there's a marketing team behind it now. But remember, Nintendo has nothing to do with this. Okay?
But I thought Nintendo made Pokemon.
Right, yeah, okay.
No.
All right, let's move on to the next story, and that, of course, is let's get one more bit of information in. That, of course, is Extra Life. Extra Life is the charity event that Ultra Confusion takes part in every single year. This will be our 5th year.
5 years?
What we do is we are playing in support of the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. All donations are tax deductible. We don't actually see the deductions. They go straight to the system that goes to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. We'll be playing for 24 hours straight, November 5th.
November 5th. Very good day to be alive.
Indeed. So please, if you've got a little bit of money and you want to show the love and share the love to help children get better, then go over to Extra Life and donate. Now, of course, if you've got a buddy who's doing Extra Life, I'm not going to take offense if you just pledge on theirs. The important thing is that you pledge.
I take offense if you don't pledge to Charlie.
The important thing, at the end of the day, the important thing is that you do pledge. You do try to help support this type of thing. I know for a fact. Here, I'm going to switch back over for the full view. But
would you stop flaming people who donate money to to Extra Life?
I'm not flaming.
I don't know, man. I think you need to simmer down. You're flaming.
All I'm saying is
it's a flame-free zone.
All I'm saying is I don't care who you donate to. I just would like for people to donate.
I don't know, I feel the flaming for donating to other people.
Jesus. So, at the end of the day, I personally really want to support Children's Healthcare Atlanta a lot because I spend a lot of time in there. My sister spent a lot of time in there, and my other sister spent a lot of time in there.
I don't think I ever actually went there.
I've had some fun experiences at Children's Healthcare.
But seriously though, if you like watching Charlie's, streams of doing stuff, Charlie will be streaming indie games for 24 straight hours.
Yes, and I'm going to actually have I'm going to try to get more audience driven, so I will have a running poll that will basically queue up the next game. I'm going to try to play a game every 2 hours, or if it's a longer game, maybe 4 hours for that one. But I will have a poll running to kind of spice things up and give people a chance to be involved. And of course, you could donate at any time. You could donate today. You can donate tomorrow. You could donate a month from now. You could donate on the actual day. All that matters is that you donate.
We shall see. If you are lucky, even I may show up with my crazy monster rig in tow.
You. All right, on to the next one. Okay, now here comes the fun part, and this is the part that I really need the audience to participate in. And this is its opinion piece, download method. Now, a lot of things have changed from the good old days where when you download a game, you had to download the entire thing. Now, you're basically getting this bite-sized download that just like plops on your computer, and then you start pulling resources to fill it out.
Indeed.
So my question is, good sir, when it comes to that, the different 24 hype. The different download methods. Do you like the fact that you get a bit-sized piece there, and then you spend the time then downloading? You end up downloading the whole damn thing anyways. But there are some exceptions to the rule. There are certain games where you can continue to download, but you've got enough to start the game.
Well, there's two big advantages to the whole download as you play a game.
Mm-hmm.
One is bandwidth.
Yep.
Because the reality is, as much as we hate them, a lot of people still have bandwidth caps.
Right.
So you got huge games that are over 10 gigabytes now,
Mm-hmm.
and that can really eat through your bandwidth cap pretty damn quickly.
Right.
So on one hand, it's that. The second hand too, which I think, and I see this more, it seems, in MMOs, mainly because I don't play a whole lot of because I know the AAA titles are huge in space, but I really can't remember honestly the last AAA title I played. Last time I played was probably Diablo 3.
Mm-hmm.
And the nice thing too is, because now you download them all off of Steam for the PC at
Mm-hmm.
least, is you can play the game almost immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So when you first got, when I bought Diablo 3,
right,
it's, let's just say 10 gig download. After 500 megs, I can log into the lobby.
Right.
I can get to the first map at least.
Mm-hmm.
So in that perspective, it's nice for these huge games where I can dive right away into playing the game without having to wait to download the entire game, which could take a while sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally get the benefit of it. And I'm guessing it also reduces the stress on the publisher's servers also. Because instead of me trying to download one huge 10 gig file, if I'm incrementing that over time,
mm-hmm.
it's going to be a whole lot less of a stress on their servers.
Right. Well, the other thing is, if you were to do the bite-sized download, the other thing is that they could employ their own type of torrent system where, you're getting bits and pieces. You don't have to have that steady stream. And basically what they're doing is they're giving you the installer and then all the stuff that's being downloaded, the assets and the mechanics and stuff, so that you could get it in any order you want to. And
Blizzard was really one of the first to do that with the World of Warcraft, where
right.
they really started, like I said, you just had the small little installer that then basically BitTorrents
mm-hmm.
the rest of it to everybody else. And
mm-hmm.
I always thought it worked pretty well. Obviously, when it first came out, there were some issues. Today's the 20-year anniversary of Steam. Somebody posted online. I don't know if you ever remember the old installers for Steam and how unreliable they could be at times. It starts scrolling, and sometimes it'd be like, now removing the application and going back. You're like, wait, no, you're supposed to be installing, damn it. But sometimes it was like, especially Steam, those early installers were terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, they seem pretty reliable, at least. But, anytime you have those first-generation technologies, they're not exactly reliable. But now a lot of those games are distributed via some kind of BitTorrent protocol, which works out well for everybody.
Well, see, here's the thing, and we're looking at it from the progressive download, where once you've got enough, you can continue to play, and that's a huge thing for the PlayStation 4 and also the Xbox One. They basically give you basically the opening set, and then they start torrenting after that, so you can at least get into the game, get your feet wet, maybe play through the tutorial.
Well, but the Mutiny's point, what some games seem to do, which I don't understand why, is you start playing the game,
mm-hmm.
great, you got to Act 1,
mm-hmm.
but you don't start downloading Act 2 until you get to Act 2.
Yeah.
It seems like me like more sense where I download that first act, and as I'm playing Act 1, as bandwidth or resources are available, I'm downloading the rest of the damn game.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of having to wait till I get to every single act to now have to download those resources.
Mm-hmm.
That implementation really annoys me.
So the reason why I actually asked this question is that one of the games that we already talked about, Puzzle Monster Quest, relies on this system. However, they do it piss poorly. The reason I say that is that so you go to the App Store, you click on the button, it automatically puts an icon on there. You click on it, it goes, it basically sets up your account information. Okay, now downloading, installing game. Awesome. Yeah. So it goes a little bit. You jump in there, you play through like the first two tutorial things. It goes, okay, now you have the ability to summon monsters, install incurs. My phone, I literally just put my phone down and just let it download. My phone went from 75% to 15%, and the download had just finished.
The last 2 games I actually downloaded and played, Kingdom Hearts Unchained and that Final Fantasy, whatever it's called, both the games did the same exact thing. It seems to be this new thing where, like you said, you download the app, launch it, and part of the reason you have to download all that extra shit is because Apple limits the size that you can download from the App Store.
Right.
So that part, there's an actual logical reason of why the developer does that.
But still, it's a pain in the ass. And the other thing is, you don't have as good of an idea of how big the damn game's going to actually be, because you're talking about something that's like itty-bitty, and then it inflates like a motherfucker.
But there's exciting news on that front.
What's that?
Word in the street is Apple's finally ditching the 16 gig base model on the iPhone for the new iPhone.
Fantastic.
That's supposedly, well, of course, you're also losing your headphone jack.
Yeah, well, great. Awesome.
That's a problem for some of us.
All right. But yeah, I like the idea of basically it continuing to. I understand the cell phone's a little bit different. You probably can't do background downloading.
Yeah, I don't think Apple will let you.
But I like that implementation where you do the background downloading. I just wish that there's like some other way that I could. There's a lot of games, of course, that are online always, that you have to basically download the entire game every single time you open up the app, because it's like, well, we got to check to make sure you have the current version. And if it's like, one itty-bitty file, it's got to reinstall its entire self, it's just like, oh, my God.
Yeah, somebody fails at doing deltas.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, so let's give you another opinion piece, and that is RPG levels. One and done? All right, so here's my gripe. Once upon a time, I was a huge JRPGer. I mean, I ate that shit for breakfast.
Yeah, give me some more storylines and more 80-character games.
It wasn't the story. Yes, it was the storyline. But here's the crazy thing. Okay, my problem. First of all, Mutiny says yes. I hate when they advertise the game as, let's say, 40 megs and it turns into 2 gigs. Yes. Absolutely. Well, that is a pain in the ass.
Part of the hard part, though, is when you go to the App Store, at least on the iPhone, I don't know about Android, you go to the App Store, I don't remember what the limit is off the top of my head, but it's a pretty low limit on what Apple will actually let your game be from the App Store.
It's actually not that low. I know it's at least. I don't have to check. They've been increasing the limit.
But whatever it is, and that's one of the reasons, is so they have the small little app. But they never do tell you what the full size of the game is, too.
Right.
I don't know if you can do that.
I would assume. I mean, I'm sure
like
in the description, maybe.
Yeah, but like as far as the actual core.
But the true problem is you download that game and you may be strapped for memory, and you won't realize it until 75% through the download and goes, oops. Yeah. Download ran out of space. Got to remove all your stuff.
Very true.
And you got to start from scratch again. Okay, so Munite says new game plus. Always. Okay, so here's my question for you, okay? Because I was a JRPGer like crazy when I was growing up, and now the grind is just too much for me. However, there are certain RPGs out there that are like, yeah, grind is bad. So let's just say every single level you can only play once.
Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, so you go through a level or an area. Once you're done, you're done. You could replay it, but you don't gain any experience. You don't gain shit. It's just, I guess you can use that level to maybe change out your party to see if this party works better, but you don't gain anything from it.
Well,
or the level becomes unplayable. That's also another thing.
I mean, I guess the only way I could see that being beneficial is if the progression is such a way where, you're obviously probably leveling up very quickly. So,
no, you're not. No, in the example I'm thinking of, you're not, and you need to go back and do some more leveling, and that's not an option.
I mean, I get the idea behind it where, they want you to. I get the idea of not wanting you to grind, but that's a design issue. It's not you can't replay the stupid level. It's either, figure out a different way of doing crafting where you don't have to collect, 5 toad heads and. 4 rabbit's tails, and there's a 10% drop on each of them, or you have to go buy them from the App Store. Yes, that's true. Or actually the same thing is you can go buy, the EXP tokens.
Yep.
So that is actually you're right. That is what it is.
So I mean that's one of the very dirty ways of doing this is you give a person a free app that has RPG elements where you're leveling up both you and your party members, and the problem is that there's one game in particular that I keep thinking about, and I know that there's the PR firm behind that's supporting this game disagrees with me, but I have video evidence now. So basically, there's a game called Primal Legends, and it's a match game where you set it's basically you try to make groups of 4 or 3 or whatever. It's a match 3 game.
Yeah.
And you're trying to collect a certain color to basically allow your characters to do super attacks. The only problem is once you've beaten that level, you can replay it, but you don't gain anything. There's no experience for yourself. You don't gain anything for your characters. But here's the thing, and this is kind of crazy. You can't. So every single time you beat the level the first time, you get a random treasure chest.
Yep.
And those you try to open up the treasure chest, and it takes X amount of time to open.
Okay.
You can use your special crystals, which of course you could buy money to open up those faster. And of course, I think like twice a day you get a free thing. Now, the only way to level up your characters is for your character card to show up in one of the treasure chests. And there's a certain amount of cards that you have to get to level up. So on the early levels, you got to get like 5 or 10, and then it jumps up to like 20 and 40 and stuff like that. So you get a so let's say you get pretty good a fair way into the game, and now you're getting your ass kicked. I'm not going to talk about the mechanics because the mechanics are. Look, if you're going to create a game where you're going to pit one force against another, you cannot, for the love of God, give the CPU force like an upgrades and boosts in everything they do. It's
well, here's the thing: is it sounds like they're creating artificial scarcity in the game, whereby there's only so many cards you can collect playing the game.
Right.
That's correct, right?
Right. Yeah.
There's only one other way of avenue of collecting cards.
You pay the crystal to then unlock additional special chests.
So basically, there is absolutely zero benefit to the player to actually locking previous levels. There really isn't. Because if you're truly worried about the grind, then the issue isn't can you replay the previous levels. The previous is how many cards do you collect for each level to level up. That's what the issue is. So they're artificially making it so you have to buy these cards in order to get further in the game.
Okay, so I do want to tweak one thing. There is a way to get cards without using real money, and that's by using the in-game currency, gold. However, you only get gold from the treasure chests. So at the okay, so there's a couple things that cause you to basically have to stop playing, because you could play forever if you want to. But once you've got X amount of spots for your treasure chest, so once you've filled up those spots while you're waiting for them to unlock themselves, and you've got to select each one every single time one opens, you got to select the next one to do that. So that stops you because you don't want to lose a chance of getting a treasure chest. Or you spend the crystals, and of course, the faster you spend the crystals, the more you're going to want to put money into the game. And then the other thing, of course, is you hit a level where with who you have available, you cannot beat it. So you have to wait for that free chest to repopulate, and then hope to God that you get additional cards for a character that you like that levels up, and then maybe you have a chance. However, the mechanics of the game want to kick you in the nuts, and basically, so I have the same. I basically, just for shits and giggles, I put the exact same set of units on my side as the opponent, and I counted how many colors it took for certain things. For my side, it took 18 blues for me to become available to do my special.
Okay.
It took them 10.
That's a little bit. So basically, they're playing deity mode in Civilization.
Yeah.
Where you have like cheats.
Yeah.
So basically, they're doing the freemium model where they suck you in to play it. You're like, this is a fun game, but then it comes to a certain point where the only way to get any further is basically pumping in money.
Yeah.
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 That's freemium USA.
And it just okay. So there's another game that I've been playing. It's called Kubo. I think we might have been able to show the trailer before the internet went down last Thursday. But Kubo is based off of the new animated film Kubo and the Two Strings. This is what's called Kubo. I think it's like a Samurai's Quest or something like that. It has energy, but there are certain levels where you have origami animals that fight other origami animals, and of course there's the power structure where you've got the grass and light and dark and electric and fire and water, that type of thing. So you basically have to get the right ones on there, and you need to level up the origami things, and you do that by collecting the cards. After so many X amount of cards, of course the number keeps increasing. You can evolve it, but of course you need to have the gold.
Yeah.
Now, gold is scarce in this game, so you're not going to do a lot of leveling up. However, they also have the mechanic of you only have a certain amount of moves, which then brings me to my other pet peeve.
Uh-oh.
Okay, if you have a puzzle game and you have X amount of energy, let's say 5, so you could take on 5 levels, okay? If I succeed in beating the level, because this game's going to be fucking hard, if I succeed in beating the level, I shouldn't be penalized by you taking away the life I still have. It's like Mario. It'd be like you start the game with 3 lives. At the end of the first level, when you go down into the sewers, you lose a life. And then once you go into the pipe, to go into the third level, you lose another life. What is the benefit of playing this game if I'm going to be penalized either for losing or winning?
Did they take your life away or your energy away?
What, energy, life, whatever.
Well, yeah, every game I've ever played does that. But what they do to try to compensate for it is if you succeed, then you, at least early on, you level up so quickly that you're always regenerating your EXP, because usually your level, your energy regenerates when you get a new level.
It doesn't in this game.
Even when you level up?
Mm-mm.
Okay, because that's how every game I've played like that kind of compensates, is leveling up basically refills your energy bar. So
right. Well, in the Puzzle Monster Quest, that's exactly what happens.
So you get so many. I mean, obviously, then you get so many levels in where you're going to expend your energy level even if you succeed.
Right.
I don't know. To me, I get it because it's a freemium model. That's how they make it. And even if you win, it's like running a marathon. Even if you win the marathon, guess what? You've expended all your energy. You went from 100 energy to 1 energy at the end of a marathon. To me, it's no different than the energy mechanism in a freemium game.
I think for me, I understand that mechanic. Okay, I've played a lot of games that have X amount of energy required to do this. However, if it's a single level and there's not a whole lot to it, like in a Puzzle Monster Quest, every single time that you have to use your stamina, that's the energy in this one, you go through at least 4 to 5 different rooms before you either win or lose. Yeah. In this one, it's a single, and it could be over in like a heartbeat. And the other thing about this game, if you do pick it up, because it is free to play, just turn off the notifications because it's going to piss you off, because they're going to keep telling you it's full. Go back to the game, and you come back and there's nothing.
Yeah, especially the freemium games, that's the first thing I do is turn off the damn notifications, because they're always giving you like, your energy's full, your heroes are leveled, come train your heroes, and it's always like nonstop notifications.
So there is a game that we've talked about in the past, and that's called Summoner's Fantasy. It's a card RPG game. I do keep the notifications on for that one because it tells me when I can get a free 50 energy. Now, of course, you can't, if you already are at full energy, you can't pick up the 50, but after you play one single match, you then can throw in the 50, and then you basically have added a shit ton of things. I think the problem is I like to actually get into a game. So if it's a game in which the levels are like this, if I don't feel like I'm being rewarded by them taking away my energy and then penalizing me for when. It just feels like a penalty. Whereas the other ones, I feel like I'm paying my admittance to go in.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have just a single screen that could literally take, I don't know, 2 minutes, and it's a very small amount of energy you're pulling from, like your thing about the marathon, you go, from 100 to 1. You're running a shit ton of miles. What is it, 26.1?
26.2.
Right. But let's say that you've got 100 to 1 energy, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But you use it all up in 20 yards.
That's no good.
Right. You've got enough energy to run a marathon, but they're going to take all of it away in 20 yards.
So you're Usain Bolt, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
how you feel? Okay.
That's how I feel. I mean, there's a lot of mechanics about it and stuff that I'm sure that everyone will argue about. But for me personally, when it comes to that type of game, where it's just that quick turnaround, yep. I feel like and the thing is, it's challenging. It's not like I'm blowing levels away. If I'm blowing levels away, yeah, throw the removal of energy. But also, I think for me, maybe it's just the low amount.
Well, I think part of it too, though, is I think it's our expectation of games.
Right.
Because you brought up the point of Mario,
mm-hmm.
where, like you said, our games that we grew up playing, we're used to, like you said, if you succeed, it's not like you lose your life or whatever it is.
Right.
You can just continue on until you actually fail.
Yeah.
Whereas pretty much every game now, especially the freemium model games that have energy setting,
mm-hmm.
they're now, you do anything, you lose energy.
Mm-hmm.
It might be easy to regain it through leveling up or something, but it's a very different mindset, I think, not just this, but overall in games nowadays, especially mobile platform, because the publisher/developers' livelihood revolves around people purchasing in-app stuff, which in their mind means that they have to buy energy stuff.
Right.
I think we both agree there's better ways of doing it than
yes.
pissing people off if you run out of energy in 5 minutes. But I think that's a lot of their mentality is, they probably go in and the first thing they think is, okay, how can we design a game to make money? I know, guys, we have to run out of energy quickly, so people have to buy new energy.
Right.
And then they build a game around that. So I think that's, I'm obviously exaggerating, but I think that's part of the mentality.
Well, actually, I don't think you're exaggerating for some of the companies out there.
But I think that's very much, at some point, that no matter somewhere in the design process,
mm-hmm.
that's going to be in their mentality. Is they're going to think about, okay, how are we going to make money, which they have to do, yes. But at some point, a lot of them seem to jump where their first reaction is energy.
Okay, so I'm going to always bring up this game. It's called Scurvy Scallywag. It's been out forever. It's a puzzle game for the iOS device. It's got a ton of levels. You can go until you can't go anymore. You've got X amount of energy, and the energy is deducted when you lose. If you win, you keep going on. And, of course, the difficulty scales up pretty damn fast. And then, of course, they add enemies that you got to be careful about getting close to because they can basically screw you over.
Aww.
But that and the thing is, I got so invested in that game that I was willing to open up my wallet and go, oh, yeah, I do want to buy more stuff because I'm having such a good time. I think that's the other thing is when you give them like bite size and you're removing a life every single time, you only get 5. You're not really able to truly get into it. It's like one of the worst like Facebook game models. Everyone's got the energy. Farmville or whatever the fuck you're playing.
But even Farmville, you could play pretty damn long time.
Yeah, because you could do like a bunch of stuff. You can organize stuff. But when it's literally you're playing this level and then you're going to the next level, or you could go to a previous level, but it's also going to remove your energy. That's when I have a problem.
What it reminds me of is Tap Titans. What you're saying,
mm-hmm.
where that's why the idea of Tap Titans was interesting. But like you said, within the first 5 or 10 minutes, because I was knocked out, I couldn't play anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of the same thing with energy.
Yeah.
If it,
Combo Quest.
Or Combo Quest.
Yeah.
Whatever the mechanism is, whether it's losing lives or energy, if with like in the first 5 or 10 minutes, if I'm already like, oh, you're out, you have to wait, I'm deleting it.
Yeah, then I'm out for good.
Yeah.
I'm not coming back. And Mutiny Teddy, that's the truth. I hate waiting energy recharge. It actually makes me delete games because it doesn't let me play when I want to play. Absolutely. And to that point, I think that I understand there's this precarious balance because they are giving you the game for free and then microtransactions, in-app purchases, whatever the fuck you want to call it. However, there's a formula out there. I don't know every single in and out, but there's got to be a formula that works that people just need to like sit down and talk about, where the you have to get the gamer invested.
Well, one game that I've played, I'm probably not going to play much anymore.
Okay.
But it's Kingdom Hearts Unchained.
Mm-hmm.
And they totally have the energy cycle.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason I didn't mind the energy in that game is because like when you level up so quickly in that game where you pretty much never run out of energy until you get farther into the game.
Mm-hmm.
But different things in the game take different energy levels.
Right.
So, in order to do your normal quest, it takes, let's just say, 10 energy. If you're going to do the special quest to get the EXPs,
the exclusive.
it takes 30.
Yeah.
But the other thing they do, too, which probably a lot of people spend money on, is like right now, for instance, there's a 0 action point festival going on, which means for 2 weeks, everything in the game does not cost you any action points. So you can do those like crazy, 50 action point quests infinitely if you want to. But the catch that the game does too is those specials are locked during the week.
Of course.
Like they unlock on certain days. So Monday you can get red medals, Tuesdays blue medals, but for $15 you unlock all of those for the entire week.
Right. Okay.
So
yeah.
I'm sure
yeah.
on these like 0 action point weeks, people are buying all those unlocks because they can do any of the specials for the entire week as much as they want.
Right, and but that's incentive.
It works. So
and it's a good incentive.
So in a game like Kingdom Hearts Unchained, the action point system, they did it in such a way where, if anything, actually incentivized people to now go spend those $15 at opportune time. But the action points don't really limit you because you can still play the game. You just can't spam getting EXP medals 50 times in a day.
Well, okay, so there in Summoner's Fantasy, there's that mechanic where you can only go into, I think it's like the testing tower or something, only on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I don't know if there's a way to unlock it, but there's you get super awesome stuff if you basically do it a lot. And of course, it charges a little bit extra energy, so you might want to pay some money to be able to get that super awesome stuff. And then the thing that's happening with Puzzle Monster Quest is that there's a rotation every so many hours where a certain area and all of its levels inside are half energy cost. And so that, of course, drives it there. Munite says, if the story was better in most games, I would pay to play advanced, but most stories in cell phone games are basically ad-lib games. Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. A lot of the thing is everyone wants to try, because you're making it a free-to-play game, you're trying to do, unfortunately, a lot of people are trying to do as little as possible so that they're not incurring a lot of debt and they can hopefully get a return on their investment quicker.
Basically, the storyline most cell phone games sucks.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, we have reached the end of our Thursday Night Hangout.
You know what that does?
Make Red cry.
Stop
Red is
this.
cry. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to mention something, and it is absolutely 100% tragic, and that is next week's Thursday Night Hangout, unless Zealeus wants to man it alone, will not be occurring because I will be out of the States.
I don't think you want to hear me monologue for an hour and 15 minutes. I'm going to be honest. I'm not. Charlie, I can't pull off the shades. The shades don't do it for me. It does not work with my color palette on my face. So I don't know, man. Maybe
Sorry,
I could come entertain y'all with my cat for an hour.
So anyways, I'd like to thank a couple people real quick, and then we'll go into our ending, and that, of course, is we would like to thank Nerdburger Games and Nerdburger Podcast for their continuing support of Ultra Confusion. We'd also like to thank Vitamin Geek Podcast for all of their love and support and all the fun times we've had with them at Canuga. We'll be back at Canuga. We're trying to work out some of the details for that. Of course, we would be nowhere without WhackKid47, so thank you, WhackKid47, for all your love and support. And then for myself personally, the IGDA Atlanta chapter, the Georgia Game Developers Association, and loving and caring audience members like yourself. Now, remember, you can go to the TeeSpring site to get the T-shirt. It is available for the next 3 days. If you want to become a patron of Ultra Confusion, you go to our Patreon page, and you could donate any amount of that you want. You can. It's a monthly thing. You could do it for a month and then cancel it after it deducts from your credit card, bank account, whatever. If you want to do a one-time thing, you could do PayPal. And, of course, help support us in our charity event, which, of course, is happening on November 4th, a 24-hour game-a-thon, which will where I will be showcasing a ton of indie games, and I will be putting up a live poll for all of those watching and tuning in so that they can find or figure out or perhaps suggest what game I'll be playing next. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very, very much for tuning in. So for myself, Charlie, and Zealeus, it's been a pleasure to give you the craziness coming out of our heads, our mouths, and, of course, our hearts. We will see you in the very near future. Be on the lookout for streaming. Oh, yes, streaming real quick. Ultra Confusion, when I'm in town, there will be a stream. I will be streaming. I don't have the exact times. I'm going to say probably ballpark 9 p.m. until midnight on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. So keep an eye on all our social media stuff. Just check out website, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. I'll be doing it all through Twitch. And, of course, on occasion, I probably will pop on like a Monday or Wednesday, or probably never a Friday, but maybe a Saturday. But
Charlie
we'll see.
With the schedule.
But, yes, I know that there are a lot of people out there who want to see more Ultra Confusion playthroughs and gaming and streaming, but they don't know when we're on. So I'm going to tell you, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. Of course, Thursday is the Thursday night hangout. I'm going to try to come back in a little bit and do some streaming, but if I